All right, so this video is gonna have two parts. The first part is gonna be me breaking down a melody and showing you different melody techniques that you could use to make your melody sound fire. And then the next part is going to be me putting those into action and making a melody from scratch so you can see exactly how I do it. We're gonna start off with this melody right here I got. This first instrument is keyscape. I just did a basic chord progression, used some minor chords, as you can see. You know, we on some Drake stuff, some vibes, you know what I mean? So this is what I call the foundational layer. You can start your foundations of your melody with a chord progression, or you can start it with like a repeating pattern. But you want to create something that you can build on top of. And a chord progression is a great place to start. So with chord progressions, you actually want to learn them. You want to go and look at different songs that you like by different artists, find the chord progressions that they use, and don't just try to click in something random. Actually study different sounds and see what progressions are being used, because the thing is, there's no chord progressions that anybody owns. We all use the same chord progressions, just in different ways. So the next part, I'm gonna add something that in the background, and it's gonna be a pad. So I have this pad from Analog Lab. So that just gives it a more full sound and also more beautiful sound too. It's not overpowering anything. Next part is our bass. So our bass is just following the bass line. So that's our foundations. Everything is being built upon this. So each of these things could technically stand on their own. You could have your bass line by itself. You could have your pad by itself. You could have your chord progression by itself and play some drums on top of those things, because this is the foundation of your melody. Now, the next part of our melody that we're gonna add is what I call the mid layer. And this is where you usually have your motif, or you have your repeating pattern that people remember. This is the part that you wanna make as catchy as possible. It could be a lead, it could be a vocal, it could be a bell, but it's usually gonna be that part that people walk away from the song humming or whistling, you know, that melody that just stands out. So what I did for this melody is I used a vocal. Now, sometimes with vocals, you have to do some chops. Originally, I got this vocal from Splice. Original sounded something like this. You can see I took that part, took some of that part. So sometimes you got to just chop it up a little bit to make it sit. Now, the next thing I like to add is what I call the top layer. And this is the ear candy. This is the melody, maybe switch up that you put on top of the melody. It's that stuff that really adds some flavor to your melody. So I have this percussion right here. It adds another layer of just rhythm to your overall melody. Now, the next part of our top melody I have is the sound from Analog Lab. As you can see, it's going along with our melody. Ding, 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 ding. But just adding a little something to it. It's not like all over the place. It doesn't repeat over and over and over again. You know, we're making use of spacing. Just added something extra to it. Right? Now, if I take that, add Valhalla Supermaster to it, add some delay. So that's our ear candy, but it also acts as a switch up to allow the melody to have more variation throughout it. So now we're gonna export everything and we get the full melody. Sometimes when I make my melody, I might pitch it up, pitch it down. As you can see, we pitched it a little bit. Now it sounds like this. That's our full melody. All right, time for a different melody. So with this one, shout out to my man Jerm the Juice, shout out to Chuck Made It. They helped me make this melody. I mean, we all made it together in the studio. But this original idea right here was made solely by Jerm Juice, okay? So let's listen to his melody idea. I liked that. And then I was like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take it and then I'm gonna flip it. So this is our next melody tip that you can do. You can start to time stretch your stuff, time stretch your melodies and flip the melody ideas that you created. You're gonna time select, you're gonna consolidate these tracks. Now we take them and we stretch them halfway, put it on stretch mode. Now you might be like, yo, that's too fast, too quick. But we're gonna change the BPM now to 112. Next thing I could do is I could take this flute and I could stretch that even more. Pitch it up. So now the melody sounds like this, because we changed the pitch of everything. This whole section is about just time stretching, manipulating your samples, changing the pitch, changing the BPM, stretching it down, elongating it, seeing what you could do with your idea to see if you could make it an even more fire melody. Now we got a bass line. So in this section of the melody, we have the same thing. What do you notice? Well, instead of it being, we cut out some of the melody so that there was more space. So you want to always make sure that you're taking note of your spacing, because it's not just about the melody. Remember, a beat still needs to go on top of the melody as well as your artist. All right, so let's get to this melody from scratch. So we're gonna start off with Xenology. I've been feeling Xenology a lot lately. Xenology has a lot of nice sounds. Time stretch that as soon as it gets. All right, let's listen to the melody all together. That's the cook up right there. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you paid attention to all the different things I did in the creation of this melody. Of course, when you watch this, it's gonna be sped through. You know, some parts you're not gonna see every single little detail because I changed a lot of things, switched a lot of things up. I think overall this melody took me about 15 minutes or so to make. As you can see, sometimes it's a process. It takes time to like really get all the sounds and stuff that you really want to get. I mean, you could cook up faster than that, but everybody's process is different. So make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you. Peace.